My name is Marina Melis, and I'm born in the 1st of April in 1950 in Holland, in Hilversum exactly. I have no title, but I'm taking care of the donkeys. And I'm taking care of the donkeys since 23 years here on this island of Bonaire. And I love the donkeys since my 8th birthday. We had a farm in Holland, and I was the one who refused to feed our cattle because they go eventually to the slaughterhouse, and I said, I'm not going to help them raise them quickly and then you bring them to the slaughterhouse. No. So that's why my love for donkeys exists, because they gave me a donkey because they know a donkey can be very, very old. And my friends who live on Aruba told me, Marina, you love donkeys so much you have to go on a holiday to Bonaire. And then you see how many donkeys need help, because we read in the newspapers that there are a lot of things going on with donkeys. That is how I came on this island. And then I see and ask around, and that's how I said, wow, here is a lot of work to do for me. And a couple of years later, I moved to here, took a job, and now I'm retired. And I have my pension, but I'm still working 7 days a week for the donkeys. I sell dustbins to earn money for the donkeys, because here we had the oil bins as a dustbin. And they say the donkeys throw over the dustbins and they have a lot of problems and they are on the streets, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, the first thing to do is bringing dustbins in. And in our country, we have dustbins and we separate our garbage. And the old ones who doesn't have 2 compartments, they were selling them. And I went to our former mayor and I said, on Bonaire we use old dustbins and I need the old ones from us. How many I can get for the good cause, because I'm going to move over there and taking care of the donkeys. And then they gave me 3,000 dustbins. So we took the wheels off, the covers off, we stapled them, we put them in a container, brought them here, sold them to people, and used that money for the donkeys. That is how we start to take care of the donkeys.
Okay, let's take a minute and talk about your new facility. No, let's talk about your old facility and why you had to leave, and then talk about the new facility.
Yeah. After taking care of the donkeys in my own backyard, I went to the animal shelter and asked for space. And they could give me temporary space, because I had start with 1 donkey, but I end up with 50, and then my yard was too small. And I was asking every Thursday on the government to give me a piece of land to take care of the donkeys, to build a sanctuary. After 3 years, they finally gave me a piece of land close to the landing strip in lease. So it was a nice piece of land, 20 hectares, but only a short amount of lease, $56 for a year. So I was very happy, because it was for a good cause, and there was a well with water on it. That is the first need for a donkey, water. So I took a lot of money of my own, because where you start, you have nothing, only selling a few dustbins, but that's not covering everything. So my money I used for buying fence material, because that lease land has nothing. And we built all the facilities, and we rented that for 15 years. Then in June, I get a letter in the year 2010 that in October in 2010, I have to give back the land to the government. And I said, why? They said, because the landing strip must be extended, and the safety rules are that in the closest area in 180 meters you cannot have buildings or other facilities. I said, okay, then according to the contract, the lease contract of the land, you have to give me new rental land back. They say, we don't have it. So I was on the street with, at that moment, 300 donkeys. So my friends, family, sponsors, and our last money, I sold my house in Belnem. All my last money I used to buy this land, and now this land is donkey land, because they did not give me, the government never, and nobody else give me any money to move to here. So we lost our house, the stables, all the other facilities on that land. And what was more worst is also we lose that water well because we never paid for the water because there was a natural well and we put a windmill on it to bring the water up. In the beginning here, when we moved, we had to make temporary fence. That cost a lot of money. But also we have to pay a water pipeline to here. We paid more than 1.5 years, $1,800 a month for water only. After we saved some money, we drilled holes now, and now we have natural water, so we have not such an expensive bill for water. But further, we had to build up everything new until now. We are still under construction, and it's 5 years now.
I talk about the windmill for the electricity.
Oh yeah. We are out of the grid, so we are out of the living world here, and we don't have the electricity facilities from the government. We don't buy the electricity because we get that windmill as a donation from the Donkey Society in Holland, because they know me for many, many years. In Holland I had donkeys and I was a member of them. And they know about all the problems, and they gave us the windmill as a donation to have the electricity power off for the whole park.
All right, talk about your feeding station.
Oh yeah.
And how that works, everything from when you set it up to clean it and everything.
Yeah. About the feeding station, we had to build a huge concrete floor, and we asked people to buy a building brick to help me to collect all the money because the floor only cost $35,000. It's a huge complex, and the building construction that's also helped by sponsors. One of the sponsors is the Donkey Sanctuary in England. We have the company Werkon who is helping me, Dierenlot, and International Fund for Animal Welfare helped me to build that feeding station, because with so many donkeys you need a huge storage also for the hay and for the horse pellets, and also for all your cleaning material, but also for to feed them, because we have a rain season, a long rain season, and then it's all muddy, so you have to feed them covered, with the roof above it. And also we use it during the daytime for a shade roof, because it's a huge building, as you can see.
And so every morning you come and you put out the feed for the donkeys. Let's talk about
Yes, in the morning in the afternoon we make everything ready for the next early morning. At 7:30 that's feeding time, and then we put all the bags up, and then we spread it out, and then we open the gates, and then the donkeys all come in to feed. And we feed every day more than 500 kilos of horse pellets, because we have 600 donkeys, but we have in front, we have 80, and that's moms and foals. We keep them separate, but in the back are the adults and say the 1 yearlings.
Talk about your senior donkeys, your old donkeys.
Oh yeah. And since a couple of years, we had, of course, the older donkeys, but that was my wish to build a senior meadow. And also, since now it's open 1 month, we have a senior meadow, and people help me to build that also, sponsors from Holland. And that is because the older donkeys are slower in their behavior, but also slower in eating. They chew very, very slow. So in the big herd, the older ones get a bit skinny, so we put them now separate, so the older ones have a nice and special senior home. And also special food. I can show you, because also that food is coming from Holland. That is for horses above 18 years.
Okay, who's doing most of your construction projects?
Most of the construction projects is my husband and Genaro. Genaro is the one who we have on the payroll. He is the only one on the payroll. Further, we are all volunteers. And my husband is 68 now, and he hopes to be a senior in a couple of years that he can retire. But for now, he is still helping with all the construction.
Good. Talk about how large this ranch is.
Okay. Our whole facility is, I think in acres, it's 140 acres. It is 60 hectares in the Dutch. I don't know how it is how much it is in acres. But that is all owned land by the donkeys. This is the foundation who bought it, and we bought it for more than $400,000. And it's owned by the donkeys as the foundation.
All right, now let's talk about the donkeys that are outside.
Okay.
How many donkeys are on the island altogether? Yours plus the ones out there.
Yeah. All the donkeys, the total amount of donkeys we have on the island, including our donkeys in the sanctuary, is approximately 1,000 and not more. We have had 200 males already castrated, chipped and earmarked, and I show them to you outside. And they have had a tetanus injection. And we have to do about 75 males more. Still, every week we are bringing in some females, and I think now I estimate that totally 35 are left outside to bring in at our sanctuary to stop outside the breeding. We don't want to have for at least 20 years no more donkeys, no more. That means no more breeding outside. And then the government can decide if they can allow donkeys outside, yes or no, for the nature, for the traffic, for all.
Okay, let's talk about that. What's all the problems that the donkeys outside the fence face? Hunger, cars, the whole thing.
Yeah. The donkeys facing outside this sanctuary, a lot of problems. To find water in the dry season is very, very difficult. They have to roam miles to find water. And in the dry season, there is hardly no food. I can show you pictures from very, very skinny donkeys. And the first is the car accidents, because they are searching for food. They're walking on the roads, go to the living world, to the people. And the second is the starvation by tetanus. And if we get a phone call from tourists wherever in nature they find a donkey laying down who not can stand up anymore, we go out and in 24 hours we or either help the donkeys or the vet will say, yes, he can be helped or not. And then we help to give them not suffering. About the food outside, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. On specific areas on the island, especially at Sorobon, at Lac, and in Rincon, close to the windmills, there's nothing to eat for them. And there were most of the donkeys. So if you see the donkeys over there, they are in bad condition. We brought in a lot of females. They are so skinny, we have to give them 3 or 4 times small portions a day to get them more strength, because they are only bones.
All right. How about the pregnant and the mom and baby we got yesterday? Tell us about that story.
Okay. Since 1.5 years, the 1st of November in 2013, we start until 2014 in November. We had an agreement with the island government to bring in all the females and the young ones. People can help us to do it quicker because donkeys were all over the island and also in the neighborhoods of houses and everything. So we asked people by radio spots, please open your gate, let the donkeys in your yard, call us, we will pick them up. That was in the beginning of our contract with the government. We paid people $20 for each donkey they let in their yard without harming it, without any scratch, nothing, only let them in the yard and call us. Until the November last year, so in 2014, we brought in 168 females. Most of them are pregnant. So the pregnant ones can deliver their foals. When there is a male donkey out, with 8 months he will be castrated, but we will never separate a mom and her foal. They stay with us forever. So we have males, many males, but they never did the deed, so they are with their moms, and they were brought in by us. Like yesterday, we went out with you on the island, and I showed you how easy you catch feral donkeys. We do it with our team. We do it very calm, without stress for the donkeys. When there is an open yard of houses, we chase them very, very slow in the house yard, and then we lasso them on their hoof and we bring them in our trailer, and we bring them safe to our donkey sanctuary. We deworm them, taking pictures of them, and register them, which day we bring them in and from where we bring them in. So in the close and near future, we are going to ask the people again. And already this morning, a lady called that she has a couple of donkeys in their yard, but I said, oh, today I'm busy. Do it again tomorrow, let the gate open, and they will come back tomorrow, because they drink at the houses, because they hardly can find water in Rincon. Hope to find sponsors to help us with the food for these donkeys, because we cannot buy the food from Venezuela, because Venezuela cannot deliver the maize products and everything. So we have to buy the food from Holland, which is expensive. We can only buy the hay from Venezuela. And that is the only way to get food. But money is the most urgent matter. We need every 6 weeks 21,000 kilos of horse pellets. And that's almost together, it's 10,000 euros, which is $10,000 each 6 weeks. So you can imagine that we work here 7 days a week to invite tourists to our place. We ask people, please adopt a donkey, because they adopt a donkey, and of course the donkey stays here, because they are mostly foreigners who help us with the donkey adoptions. And we have 600 donkeys, and at the moment there are 175 donkeys adopted. So it would be the best and the great thing if each donkey will have an adoption parent. Then we are out of cost, and everybody is helping to pay for the cost. Right
How
now,
about some corporate sponsors? What could a company do, or another organization, or even a church? Could they, the hay feeders, the shelters, talk about some of those things?
People can help us with hay feeders. People can help us with shade roofs. Although at the moment we have enough, but if we get more donkeys in, we need more shade roofs. Right now we have some street lights on solar, but we can use more that kind of facilities, and we can put the names of the sponsors on it. So when all the tourists come here from worldwide, they will see the names of the companies or entities who are helping us with it.
Okay. How do I want to go this? I know it bothered you that people said bad things and they told lies.
Yeah.
But did that change your mission? Did that change what you do?
No, they will never. No. Yeah.
Wait for them and then tell me about that.
Yeah, but maybe I get some emotional, because
That's okay.
Just take your time.
what disturbed me in my career as a donkey lover and helper is that one person from the United States came in here invited by another American on the island who never visited this facility before, never helped the donkeys before, and then named this my rescue a concentration camp. If any person know what a concentration camp, what it is, they will never mention this, especially not to a rescue done by me with all my life. This is my life work for the donkeys. Since 23 years, I'm 7 days a week helping the donkeys. 3 years ago, I went only for 1 week for a holiday. Day and night, I'm awake for the donkeys. If the police is calling me or somebody else is calling me that there is something with the donkey, I'm going out. Every 3 hours in the night, I'm bottle feeding the little orphan who came in now some more than 5 weeks ago. Nobody else did it before. Nobody else stand up before. And then how you can call me a liar, how you, if you don't know me, how you can say that I'm stealing money. We are 100% transparent because we are an ANBI, that means een algemeen nut beoogende instantie. For, like in the United States, you have that 501c3 status. In Holland, you are an ambi. That's another rules, but it's the same possibilities for people who are giving money as tax deductible and everything. You must be 100% honest for the law, and we are that. And I can say that I will never steal money. I came here as a quite rich person. My bank accounts, I can show you, they are zero. I am a pensionado. I'm still having my pension. My husband has his pension. All what I sold, my jewelry, everything, between the donkeys, I don't need jewelry. I give my life for them. First, the food for the donkeys, then me. Nothing else. Donkeys are my life. That's why I help them from start and day one. And I will do that for the rest of my life.
Now, would you be comfortable sharing about your parents in the concentration camp?
Yes, I will, because it's the truth. As you can see, in the next month, I'm 65 years. I think I'm not an ugly person. I look well for my age. My mom was really a beautiful lady. My mom was a Russian lady. During the war, the German people took my mom from her family in prison. My mom was a beautiful woman and had the tattoo numbers of her prison camp on her pulses on both arms. And it hurts me that an American woman, and I say woman, I could use other words, but I'm not doing that because I think I'm decent. And they use my Donkey Sanctuary with all my love built and all my strength in it. They call this a concentration camp. They should be punished by using this because when I was young, when my mom has back problems, pain in her legs or something else, she said, oh child, that's because I was in the camp. You slept on the floors and you must be happy that you still have your mom because others get killed. They were killed in the gas chambers. My mom and dad both were in that camp. That's how they met each other. They both are not living anymore. But I wish my mom could see what I'm doing. But she will cry and cry what they are telling about my sanctuary.
Good. Okay, whenever you're ready, let's talk about that film. Everything that didn't work.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, the island government sent 70 donkeys to Curaçao as food for the lions. I fought for them. A year later, they tried to bring them to Haiti. They wanted to grab them from the streets, put them in containers and trade them for fruit trees. And they wanted to kill the donkeys and shoot them. The bullets were already on the island. All these cases, I fight the government and I said, no way. These donkeys are so sweet and living creatures. You cannot kill them. You cannot send them in a container as a package, for people, for meat. And that's what I did with petitions, with everything. I fought for these donkeys to keep them alive. So finally, with all these fights and also to invite people to talk with so many people in Holland, also with the Animal Welfare Party from the Dutch government, because now we are since 5 years a special community from Holland. I fight this government, but with normal talking. A fight means, fight by hands. No, we did really negotiating, and they say to me, okay, we will listen to you. If you want to have the donkeys on the island, come with a solution that all the car accidents will be reduced, that we can have some donkeys on the island, but tell us a good solution. So I was bringing up the solution. The best way was to take the females out of all the males, because every 13 months they deliver a foal. It goes on, and all the inbreed problems, it goes on. So you have to stop that. So finally, after 1.5 year negotiation, we have made a contract with the government to catch the donkeys outside, that to bring the females and the young ones in, and the males can stay outside, but the population will be controlled by that way. So we know exactly where the donkeys are, where the males are, the groups where we put the castrated males. When they have the ear tag in, you know that they are already castrated. We have a chip reader, so that is now controlled. But all these years I fight for these donkeys to keep them on Bonaire, and they will stay on Bonaire forever, but in a controlled population.
Okay. That's just, sometimes I need a little bit of space when I edit, so that's why I hold you. Talk about the baby with the leg.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, there is now, at the moment, there's the cruise season. And during the cruise season, there is the business going on for the taxi drivers. And they drive, they drive like idiots here on the island. There must be a speed limit control, but there isn't. Nobody obeys the law. And then suddenly on a Monday morning at 11:30, we get a car in quickly. Oh, come ma'am, there is in the beginning of the road close to Sorbonne, there's a foal laying down on the ground. It's hit by a taxi, and the taxi went away and left the foal on the street. So that is how we get that little orphan in now, because we couldn't grab the mom. She was really too upset, and we tried for several days, and now we have that little orphan with the bandage, and she is hit by her shoulder, so her muscles must have had a big bruise, and it will take at least 6 months that she can lift her leg up again. But every time, every night, every day, during 3 hours, every 3 hours she's getting the bottle, because she's a very little one.
Okay.
Can we make because I have to change her bandage. Maybe you can film that.
Sure. Anything else that we haven't covered that you'd like to say?
No, I think I answered all your things.
What about for people here? What about anything about for volunteers or for people that have been with her, what they do here, anything like that?
Yeah, talk a little bit about the volunteers and what kind of people they are.
The volunteers and the people who are helping me, that is volunteers with a good heart. And I always say to them, if you are good for my donkeys, I'm good for you. That means that I give them a meal, I give them an ice cream, we go out together for a hamburger night on Wednesday. I give them soup, like yesterday Tom and Elvira went with me again out to feed some donkeys for future grabbing. And then I give them a cup of soup with them, because if they're helping me with the donkeys, I'm very, very happy. And all my helpers have a good heart, from the youngest one from 11 until the oldest one of 57.
You're welcome, bye.